Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Yari Hearts Books, and today, as you could tell probably from the title, I'm gonna be talking about some book adaptations that I watched the movie or TV show, but I have not read the book or books. So yeah, let's just hop right into it. Okay, so let's just start right here. So the first one, The Hunger Games. Yep. Okay, if you guys are new here, I'm not even sure I've mentioned this a lot on here, that I got into the reading game pretty late. I started reading for fun in college, and I started with adult romance, chick lit type of books, because I started off with Sophie Kinsella books. And eventually I found my way to fantasy. So these movies were coming out. That's mainly, I feel like it was around the same time, I think. Hold on, when did The Hunger Games come out? Okay, so The Hunger Games came out kind of post college, whatever. Because the first movie came out 2012, and so basically, yeah, when the movies were coming out, I think at that time I still was just mainly reading Sophie Kinsella books, and that's pretty much it. I hadn't found my way to fantasy yet, or any other genre yet. So even when the first movie came out, I didn't watch it right away. The first time I watched it was on Netflix, so it was a while after the first movie came out. I saw it on Netflix one day, and I was like, I hear all this amazing stuff about it. Everybody loves it, so let me watch it. And I was like, I know there's a book, but I don't really want to read it. I'm not gonna lie, I read summaries for all the books, so I have no interest, to be honest, to read any of the books at this point in my life, because if you guys don't know, I'm how old I am? I'm 31. So I don't think, well, I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm not really interested at this time in my life to read it. Yeah, let's just say that. The movies were good. I watched the last movie for the first time in 2020, so yeah. Okay, so yeah, so that's The Hunger Games. So the second movie I'm going to talk about is Twilight. So this one, again, so didn't read any of the books, have no interest in reading any of the books. I've seen if you guys haven't seen Kevin, Irish Readers, his reading the books, the Twilight books, the first time, I watched all of his videos for that, and it was so funny. And I have no interest in personally reading it myself, so I'm fine with just seeing other people's thoughts or whatever. But I only actually watched the first movie. I haven't seen any of the other movies. The first movie came out, I believe, in 2008, so that was the year I started college. Yeah, the first movie came out in 2008, so that's the year I started college. So again, the same thing where I wasn't reading books pretty much. So I didn't know about the books. My friends wanted to watch the movie, so I went to see it with them. Didn't really like it. Had no interest in watching any of the other movies, and I still don't. Okay, so now we're gonna bring it to current time. So the next one I have is Bridgerton. So I watched the TV show. It was a time. And have no interest in reading the books, just because there's a lot of them, and I honestly think I'll be bored reading them, so I don't want to read them. So yeah, this is turning into books I don't want to read. That's not the intention of this. Maybe there's some here that I will read, I don't know. Okay, so the next one, Pretty Little Liars. Okay, so this one kind of cheating a little bit, because I read the first book, but I didn't read any of the other hundreds in the series. But I love the TV show, of course. With everything, TV shows, movies, books, whatever, there's always some elements in there that it's not the best. So I know that's with anything, with any kind of media. So but yeah, I read the first book. It was fine, but then I just ended up reading summaries for the rest of the books, just to get an idea of like what the similarity and differences were from the TV show to the books. And the TV show changed a lot, but I love the TV show, so there's that. The next one I have is You. Wow, I'm not saying who any of these books are by. So You, Caroline Kepnes. Yes, so that I've watched I've watched the TV show. I've heard like decent things about the first book, You, and then the second book, Hidden Bodies, I think is what it is. I have heard not so great things, so really don't have much to say. So yeah, so also I feel like that one is also one that it's like, for me, it's better just like, I prefer just seeing it versus reading it. So yeah, I don't think I'll ever read the first book. Maybe I will someday, like as a challenge or something, I don't know, but at this moment I don't feel like reading it. The next book I have, or movie TV show, is Bird Box. So I've seen the movie on Netflix and I fairly enjoyed it. It wasn't as scary as people made it out to, because when it first came out, everyone was like, oh my god, this movie. I don't know why I'm making that voice. I was like, oh my god, this movie, like it's something else, it's scary and whatever. And then I watched it and I'm like, it's not that scary. It's very interesting. The premise is very interesting, but not as scary as people made it out to see. I'm like, okay. Yeah, so with this, also I don't think I'll read the book. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so the 7th one I have here is Sweet Magnolias, which the first book is called, it's something about baseball. I read it last year for the reading rush. I had to look it up, I forgot. Stealing Home, that's what it's called. The first book is called Stealing Home. I forgot the name of the author, so I'll put it here. Yeah, so when I first started watching the TV show, I like clicked on the first episode and then it was like based on the books, and I was like, there's books? And then I was like, pause, and I was like, do I want to read the books first and then watch the TV show? And then I was like, nah, I'll just keep watching. So yeah, so then during the reading rush, I read the first book. But now again, I don't know if I ever continue on with the series, because it was really different from the TV show, and I kind of prefer the TV show, to be honest. Like in the TV show, they added more diversity to the cast, so that's a positive, obviously. And I can't really remember right now, but I remember that there was like some differences that I really did enjoy about the TV show. And I'm so excited for season 2. I don't know when it's coming out, but it left in such a big cliffhanger, and I'm very intrigued to see what's gonna happen next in season 2 whenever it comes out. Yeah, so that's Sweet Magnolias. And now the, number 8 I have is, now I'm saying numbers. I have Tiny Pretty Things, which is again on Netflix. It's by Sonia, I'm gonna say her last name wrong. Patra? I don't know. I'll put the name here because I'm obviously pronouncing it wrong. Okay, so yeah, Tiny Pretty Things. I haven't read the books. I think it's only 2 books. So the TV show was pretty good. Not anything like super amazing, but it was pretty addictive. It was like one of those kind of TV shows where you want to keep watching. So with this one, I don't know if I will read the book eventually. I might, but I don't know. If you've read it, let me know and tell me if I should read it. So number 9, I have a classic. I have The Princess Bride. Wait, who's that by? I don't even know. It's by William Goldman. So I've watched this movie plenty of times. I love it. It's so funny. It's so good. But I've never read the book. But again, this one, the movie I watched, I don't remember how old I was, but it was maybe middle school, high school. It was probably middle school the first time I watched it. So I wasn't reading for fun back then. So, and it was definitely middle school, because I found out in middle school that it was actually a book, and they had it in my school library. Well, in one of, whatever. Yeah, so I was like, oh, should I read this? And then I was like, it's long, let me not. Yeah, that was me back then. Which, now looking at it, I'm like, it's not that long. Like, past Yari, like, what's wrong with you? This paperback edition that I'm looking at Goodreads, it says it's 456 pages. I've read longer books, so I don't know why I was, well, for little past middle school Yari, that was a really long book, and I was like, not about it. So then I read it, but I am very interested to read the book now, and maybe I am thinking about doing a book versus movie video, and I'm reading the book and then watching the movie and then comparing the two. I think that'll be fun. So most likely I'm gonna do that. Then number 10, and the last one I have, is Something Borrowed. I don't know who this is by. So it's by Emily Griffin, and I had a very interesting experience with this. So I actually got, because I was going to the Dominican Republic, so I was like, this is when I started reading. I didn't have any more Sophie Kinsella books, so I needed a book. I wanted a book, but the book that I had ordered hadn't come in yet, so I was like, I'm like leaving tomorrow. So then I went to Target and bought a book, and it was actually, I bought Something Blue by Emily Griffin, which is, it's something borrowed but from the other character's perspective. So, and I didn't know when I bought it. So then I was like, then my book ended up coming in, the one I actually wanted to read, so I ended up taking that to the Dominican Republic and then left Something Blue. And then when I came back to read it, I realized that it was something borrowed but from the other character's perspective. So I ended up never reading it. I ended up, I think, donating the book because I don't have it anymore. So yeah, and then I eventually ended up watching the movie. I never even like decided to like get the right book to start off right. So with this, I honestly, I don't think I will read either books. The movie was okay. It had Jennifer Goodwin, which I didn't know her at the time, but then I love her now because she's in Once Upon a Time. Well, she was in Once Upon a Time because after the show finished. So I loved her in that. But yeah, those are all, well, those are 10. I'm sure there's more, because there's a lot of times where I watch something and I don't realize it's an adaptation of something. So yeah, so those are 10 book adaptations that I've watched but have not read the books of. So let me know if there are any on this list that you have watched but not read, and let me know which one of these I should read the books for, and I might rate them. Also, let me know if I should try to do a part 2 of this video and come up with more. I think I might do the opposite. So books I've read but haven't watched the adaptation of. I don't know if there's a lot of those, to be honest, but I'll see what I could come up with. So yeah, that is my video. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, so I can know what kind of video to post on here. As always, all of my social media links will be linked down below in the description box, so you can follow me in those platforms. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to become a member of our little family here on Yari Hearts Books, and I'll catch you guys here next time. Bye!